It's Monday, April 6th, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. A 100-member team of intensive care specialists from Cuba arrived in Barbados last night to help in the fight against COVID-19. Their arrival comes on the heels of the country's first recorded death from the contagious virus. Minister of Health and Wellness, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, said the healthcare professionals would provide much-needed relief to local medical teams who have been on the front line treating those with COVID-19. However, he said they would first be treated for the coronavirus before taking up their duties.
They've been tested in Cuba, but we will also do our own tests. And those nurses, fortunately, are not required for immediate service because the Harrison Point facility in particular is still in the process of being outfitted with the necessary equipment. So we have adequate time to be able to deal with that particular situation.
Speaking yesterday at a press conference, the minister also lauded the work of local healthcare workers and called on the public to unite in the fight against the virus.
There's no need to panic, Barbadians. This is something that we must face together. I salute the staff of the Ministry of Health and Wellness who've been working really hard, and I'm so proud to have the responsibility of leading such a fine team. And I also want to say to Barbadians that from time to time, we may not get everything right because this is a protracted war. But the guarantee that I give to Barbadians is that should we fall in those few times, we are not going to surrender. We are not going to retreat. We will pick ourselves up, we will dust ourselves off, and we will start all over again because that is what Barbados means to us. So the mantra going forward, no retreat, no surrender, unite to fight the virus.
On Saturday, an 81-year-old man who recently traveled from the United Kingdom passed away as a result of complications from the virus after presenting to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Speaking on the Current Affairs program, The People's Business, last night, Isolation Facilities Manager and Head of the Infectious Disease Program at the QEH, Dr. Corey Ford, addressed the issue of contact tracing when it comes to the island's first recorded COVID-19 death.
It can happen, and there are measures in place. I think for any plan that one might have out there, one must always have a system where if something occurs outside of the normal, that one can respond appropriately. It is part of the national plan that we divert these sort of cases to other areas. However, if it does happen, there is a plan in place which was very well enacted last night. I think the contact tracing in this case is certainly minimized. I think the sort of precautions that were taken both by the ambulance officials who brought the patients and when the patient arrived at the emergency department, the appropriate precautions were in place to minimize that. What I would say is that process has already started, and it is being carried out by the Ministry of Health proper.
There are now 56 confirmed cases of the virus on the island. Dr. Ford, speaking at a press conference yesterday, revealed that 6 people had recovered from COVID-19 and would be removed from isolation.
At our Paragon campus, the patients all at Paragon campus have remained stable to this point, and of which there are 19 patients at that facility. It is at this facility that we will have 4 patients being discharged today, 3 males and 1 female. At our campus 2, at our Enmore facility, this is a facility which houses our more sick patients. At that facility, we have 4 patients, 3 females and 1 male. And of those patients, 3 of them are ventilated. 1 on the ventilator is doing quite well. The other 2 patients remain in a critical condition. Thankfully for us, one of the patients who tends to be doing quite well has also tested negative in terms of swabs at this point. At our 3rd campus, where we have 28 patients, we will have 2 patients being discharged from that unit, and 3 patients at that unit still remain quite ill. We expect those 2 patients to be discharged from that facility at this point.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley has expressed condolences to the family of the 81-year-old man who died due to COVID-19. The Prime Minister, who is currently resting following a medical procedure, also gave kudos to healthcare workers in the fight against the virus.
You have helped us allow the first 6 Barbadians to be able to move out and to move to the next level. And that could only have happened with your extraordinary sense of care and duty and devotion and skill. And I want to salute you for that and to let you know that we are paying absolute notice. Now is not the time, but I want to assure you that when this is all over, that we will have, in a very major way, an appreciable form of saying thank you to you, because you are the ones who are going to make the difference to what kind of life our citizens will have going forward. You are the ones that will make the difference to who can survive and how they survive going forward. I'm asking other Barbadians to do their part by not putting pressure on you, by keeping the social distance and doing all of the hand washing, and also by ensuring that we leave the really vital mask, the N95 and the surgical mask, and the ones that are being done as flash guards almost, for you, because you are the ones on the front line.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from the region, the Ministry of Agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago goes on alert on the heels of international reports that animals can contract COVID-19. We get more in this report from TV6 News.
The Ministry of Agriculture has already started taking precautions, especially with a recent upsurge in the illegal wildlife trade.
That issue of wildlife remains an open issue. We've not seen any signs of it here in Trinidad. We've not seen any deaths of wildlife to be concerned about. We've not seen anything, but our vets have been on alert and monitoring.
Just this Saturday, dozens of wild animals were seized from illegal traders by police.
There's a risk of introducing diseases into Trinidad that we don't have. Wildlife and livestock, for example, foot and mouth disease is a big issue in Venezuela, and that is why we've been dealing with livestock. But in relation to wildlife, we've seen an upsurge, and it's beyond parrots and monkeys, and it's now different types of animals. We've had for this in the last year 2 jaguars, we've had tapir, we've had the 3-toe slut, we've had all sorts of animals.
And finally, Queen Elizabeth II tells the British people they can overcome the COVID-19 outbreak if they stayed resolute in the face of lockdown and self-isolation. In a rare special televised address, the 93-year-old monarch offered a message of hope to people forced to separate from family and friends.
While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor, using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. But for now, I send my thanks and warmest good wishes to you all.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.